Honourable member for Bonnyville-Cold Lake.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Wood-Buffalo-Cold Lake region has the highest unemployment rate in Alberta at almost 10%. It also has the highest vacancy rates at 22.3%. Many families have been worried about making ends meet for months already. Now Cold Lake residents are hearing the province's part of the property tax will jump up 15% this year. These higher taxes will make a bad situation worse. Cold Lake wants to know, how can the Premier justify hiking taxes on those bearing the brunt of this recession?
Minister of Municipal Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I have to say that this government is tremendously concerned about the number of Albertans who are struggling due to the drop in the price of oil. And we certainly would not disrespect them by increasing that. Education property taxes, Mr. Speaker, have accounted for 32% of education funding. It did in 2013, 14, 15, and will again in 2016. In fact, because Alberta has been growing and property values have gone up, we were actually able to reduce the mill rate for this year.
Supplemental.
Given that Cold Lake has seen school enrollment increase by only 1.9% this year, not 15%, and given that Cold Lake's Mayor Craig Copeland and the rest of the City Council know that times are tough this year and wanted to hold the line of municipal property taxes, why did the NDP choose to hike taxes and put families at risk of losing their homes instead of finding savings within the bloated government to cover the increase in the education budget?
Minister of Education.
Mr. Speaker, and certainly it's a difficult circumstance in Cold Lake and many other areas in the province, but it's important to understand that, in fact, the rate in regards to education tax has not changed, nor has it changed from 2013. And so we're looking for ways by which we can help people. Certainly, the way that I can in education is to make sure that we fund our schools properly, not making drastic cuts to teachers and to school boards and so forth. And certainly school boards around the province have been very appreciative of that, and as have parents and families and teachers and students.
Second supplemental.
Given that this government has made zero effort to find efficiencies to avoid overtaxing Albertans, and given that in spite of all the layoffs, foreclosures and uncertainty they're facing, the people in my riding are keeping their heads held up high. And since they all want to stop the increase in taxes, what steps will the government take to lower taxes for Cold Lake, which has seen double-digit increases to the education tax over the last 5 years?
Minister of Municipal Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Again, I want to state there is no policy change here. There was no increase in this whatsoever. Of every $1,000 of assessed value that an individual has, last year an individual had to pay $2.50 in education property tax, and this year they will pay $2.48. Mr. Speaker, we stand strong with the people of Alberta who are struggling. We care for them. We're doing our very best to get jobs to them, to get them back in action, to stimulate this. There's not a policy decision that would be in their not in their best interest. And
Thank you, Honourable.